So today I have a pretty crazy day. I'm headed into the city. I have a 11 o'clock call with a jewelry designer and curator from London, and he's looking to take his business into the US now. He's been very successful in London. And then I have a 1:30 meeting with a team from Israel that's developed an app. It's a live streaming app, it's social streaming. And then at 3 o'clock, I have a phone call with a fitness trainer who is looking to brand herself and increase her following on social media. I help businesses grow. I help businesses grow by developing their marketing plans. I help them with their public relations programs. Campaign clients have included Reebok, Fairmont Raffles Hotels and Resorts, Aveda, many skincare companies, spas like Townhouse and Aqua Beauty Bar. If you want to become a thought leader, the kind of thought leader who gets media attention and the right kind of media attention, you need to be able to predict trends, know what's on the cutting edge, know what's coming next, because that's what the media is going to be interested in. The insider knowledge, that's what you need to share. You really need to be on top of your game. You need to know what is going on minute by minute in your markets, because at any given moment, if you're positioning yourself as a thought leader, you may be called upon to explain your point of view. And in order to get the kind of press coverage that that's going to give you validation, you really need to target your media. You need to know where you want to be. If it's the Financial Times, Wall Street Journal, New York Times, if it's LA Times, Washington Post, that's really important. Targeting your media, creating a list, getting to know the journalists, the writers, the reporters that cover the market that you are involved in. That's how you're going to get a soundbite. That's how you're going to get quoted, is when you sound a little bit more. You want to be easy to work with. Why do you want to be easy to work with? Well, because the truth of the matter is you're building trust, right? So it's really a matter of starting at ground zero and building trust. So as you're talking to them, and if you're dropping numbers, giving statistics, talking about studies, be sure that you have them to back up. You don't want to over-exaggerate. Be a clear communicator. You want to avoid any industry jargon. You want to be able to have anybody understand you as you get in front of the camera. In order to land stories, you have to be a first responder. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that writers and reporters typically have a deadline, and it's so easy to miss that deadline. And there are a lot of hungry wolf publicists and other business leaders out there that want that real estate in that article. An exclusive, you give them something you're not going to tweet about, you're not going to share about, something that's newsworthy and that can be theirs, because everybody's looking for a competitive edge, including the media. You don't want to get upset if you don't make the cut. You stay up all night, you're watching the segment, you were interviewed, you spent 2 hours there, your publicist was holding your hand, it was freezing outside, you got up at 6 in the morning, and lo and behold, you're not there. You're not a part of the interview. What happened? God only knows. The producer decided there was just too much content. Interviews, you just have to say, okay, thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm here next time you want to talk. And believe me, that relationship, that friendship you develop will come to back to help you, because they'll remember you as being generous and not being diva-like and making a fuss of being cut. One of the first things a reporter is going to do, just like you probably do before a business meeting, is Google you. So they're going to look at your LinkedIn profile, your Twitter profile, your Facebook, depending on what industry you're in, but all the usual places. And if they're not up to date, meaning you haven't tweeted out anything in months, they're probably going to pass on your interview. And you say, why? Well, if you're not totally engaged in your industry and you're not sharing things outside of that interview you're about to have, it doesn't really look like you're a player. It doesn't really look like you're involved in the industry. But there's reactive pitching and then there's proactive pitching. Reactive is something happens in the news and you know exactly when it happened, and you decide to share a tweet about it, or you get called upon by a media outlet, by a reporter, and she wants to know how you feel about it or what your point of view is. But then there's proactive as well, and that's pitching ideas to reporters. Repetitive, you see the same stories being written over and over again. So how do you find those really unique pitches that are going to stand out? That's one of the biggest challenges in PR. And typically where I find they come from are everyday conversations that are happening at work, at industry trade shows, in meetings. You know, I keep a notebook and jot down anything that seems slightly interesting, slightly, haven't read about that before. I haven't seen that before. I haven't, nobody ever has talked about that before. And I keep it as a possible pitch for the future. You want to keep a calendar, an editorial calendar. You want to make them timely enough for consumers and clients. One of the biggest things that companies do is they make the mistake of thinking that just because they created something, that's newsworthy. They have a new app, a new cloud-based software, a new product, and they think, look at me, look what I can do. And they send that out to the world as a form of news for the media, or they think anybody should care. And that's absolutely not the case. I work with personal trainers, I work with hotel chains, boutiques, boutique hotels, natural beauty brands. I work with those in the health and wellness field, very interested in those in tech and health, looking to disrupt the healthcare industry. I would love to help you grow your personal brand. So send me an email, drop me a line, check my website, read my blog, watch my videos. Let me know how I can help you.
The more you know who you are and what you want, the less you let things upset you.